Has anybody truly gotten all advancements in Minecraft? Since Minecraft's release in 2011, there have been numerous game versions and platforms, all the way back to Minecraft's Pocket Edition with the Nether Reactor Core and the Legacy Console Edition. Through Minecraft's history, all the versions have had advancements, and because everybody and their mom has gotten 1.19 Java all advancements, I am going to get all advancements in one video across all versions of Minecraft, starting with Java 1.8.9. So the advancements tab in Java 1.8.9 are very different. Wow, they are already handing out free advancements. Just pressing one key, I've gotten taken inventory. I then proceeded to mine some wood, and I crossed this river to kill a cow, hopefully getting cow tipper, but I need to get benchmarking first, and then time to strike, crafting a wooden sword. Now I could get cow tipper just by killing a cow, and I shortly after then did kill a cow. Then I proceeded with the basics, crafting wooden pickaxe for time to mine. No Stone Age, but there is getting an upgrade by crafting a stone pickaxe. So this is the advancement screen, and I'm looking at time to farm. Time to farm just requires you to make a wooden hoe, and then I kill this monster from Monster Hunter, similar to the newer versions of the game, and then I craft a furnace for Hot Topic and cook up some food, reminding me of delicious fish, which requires you to catch a fish and then cook it. So this is the peak gameplay of me fishing, and cook salmon for delicious fish. You don't like have to eat it. More boring stuff. Acquire hardware, same as the new game. And then there's one advancement that's going to be hard to get on a rail. That's going to be a tricky one. And I got into a little bit of a hairy situation here, but I'm a pro gamer. I never die. As you can see, very pro. There was just too many mobs in that cave. So I just got diamonds, unlocking enchanter and a couple more advancements. I then proceeded that way, crafting my first enchantment table and getting the enchanter achievement. Then after I placed it down, I used the rest of the obsidian to make a nether portal. I went through here, but I didn't really spend long. I just gathered some quartz and hopped right back out. But we need to go deeper. Is the same advancement in Java 1.8.9 as it is now. And then I very simply got baked bread just by crafting a piece of bread. I then went exploring and found a desert temple, which I looted, and then bred some cows for repopulation advancement. No witnesses. I then milked some of their brothers to bake a cake, and I took this advantage to kill an Enderman, because Endermen are going to be scarce. You may have not noticed it was raining, and this is important. I need to take the opportunity to kill Endermen. You should know Minecraft Endermen don't like rain or water, and rain doesn't fall in deserts. This means because of the circumstances, Endermen would spawn like crazy in the desert. Because you can't easily get ender pearls by trading with villagers or bartering with piglins until 1.16, getting required ender pearls to beat the game often took hours. So the fact I was getting them easily was huge. I then got back to my base and crafted this cake I had been planning for a while now, getting the lie, and then tried to Stampy Cat the cake, but I missed it by one slice, which I then shortly followed up by crafting a whole ton of books for a librarian. And then after a full enchantment setup, I ruined it by doing that. After mining up 8 gold blocks, remember, you can craft golden apples in this edition, getting the first epic advancement, to which there was no sound. And then I swiftly started working on a rail, traveling 1,000 kilometers by rail, and I figured I could just power the rail by putting a redstone torch every regular torch. And this is the first test. It's about halfway at this stage, and I very quickly ran out of rails, so I have to go mining after this. And now we can get the full-length minecart ride. But I ran into some problems. Now that that's taken care of, we can get back on the ride. And there's no sound for the epic advancements in this. I just added it in production. The Diamonds to You advancement is often obtained by throwing diamonds to another player. And since I have no friends, thank God, Mojang made it possible to get the advancement by letting a zombie pick up the diamond. However, this is harder than it seems. Zombies only have a 7% chance to be able to pick up items, so I need to find a 1 in 14 zombie. So there we go, I found my zombie. As you can tell, he's wearing an iron helmet, which means he can pick up items. So I'm going to throw him a diamond here, getting diamonds to you, if he picks it up. And then I came as the tax collector to take back my diamond. But then I went into the nether, trying to actually progress this time instead of just mining quartz. I killed some blazes, getting into fire, similar to the new game. I then got a look at my progression and saw that local brewery and the end were unlocked. I brewed some strength potions, getting local brewery. I then used a strength potion to kill a spider, getting overkill, dealing 9 hearts damage in a single hit, shortly followed by a insane bow shot to get sniper duel 50 meters to kill a skeleton. I then found this saddle in a desert temple, which will come in handy later for when pigs fly. That's just an epic advancement. That should still be in the game. But now we can finally move on to the end, and we're just getting started. Luckily, I dug right into the portal room and didn't fall into the lava. I then filled in the portal and spent no time and hopped right in, getting the end, which for some reason is a rare advancement in this version. And I took down all the towers, as you do, which appears sporadic in 1.8.9. But this didn't stop me. Also, the Ender Dragon in 1.8.9 doesn't perch at all. So you have to kill it like this, and I tried to kill it low to the ground here. That way when the portal spawned in, it wouldn't be 50 blocks in the air because the portal spawns in right where the Ender Dragon is killed. I then gathered the egg for the next generation. Or not. I guess my mental narration lines up with my footage because I then checked to make sure it was an advancement, and I got the end, period, for exiting the end. I went on a journey to some rare biomes, including jungle, badlands, and ice spikes, to complete what I thought was the adventuring time advancement. When I got to what I thought was the final biome, I was awarded no advancement. After this, my motivation to play was diminished. I spent weeks dormant on the 1.8.9 world until I finally built up the courage to confront my problems and solve them. At first, enchanting a sword might not seem that overwhelming. However, I got looting 3 guaranteed and sharpness 4 along with it. Now the sharpness helped me out getting the overkill advancement, dealing 9 hearts of damage in a single hit. But the looting is the big part. Looting 3 will help me when I must kill already seldom spawning wither skeletons to get the wither skeleton head to spawn and kill the wither. I then proceeded to do just that, spawn in the wither, getting the beginning advancement, ? And similarly to the end, you get the beginning period when you kill the wither. Now I'm crafting a beacon and I need to fully power it. But now I need 2 stacks and 36 blocks of iron. And at first I thought, oh, I'll just mine for that. But no, I would need 24 stacks of iron. Do you know how long that would take? It would take literal days. I know it's called Minecraft, but why would I spend days mining? And this is what I thought at first, until I realized I could just make an iron farm. But then I AFK'd for about 4 hours and came back to nothing. Then I fixed the farm to AFK again and build the full beacon. After a couple nights of AFKing, I was left with a bunch of iron, which luckily was just enough to craft the full beacon. And then after getting Beaconator, I only had 1 advancement left. Look at this squid. He was not close enough to break my boat there. And then I finally got it. Adventuring time. The final advancement, completing every single advancement in this advancement screen. Now heading over to 1.19. You've probably seen this type of content before, so I'm not going to bore you. I'm just going to skip over. So I proceeded with the basics, getting diamonds, as you do on your first day. Oh, I saw this patch out of the corner of my eye. I did not expect to get this advancement so soon. If you don't know, villagers are a strong asset to have during all stages of the game. However, when I'm in the early stages, mending, let's go, first try, and unbreaking trades from librarians can be especially helpful. When I get to the end and I find my first elytra, I can automatically make it practically indestructible. Using masons, I can mine clay in the river and trade it to them for an efficient way to get emeralds to purchase the enchanted books. As in 1.19, I took advantage of the quick portal strat and hopped into the nether, getting similarly, we need to go deeper. And I spawned right next to a fortress here, which is insane luck. But then my luck kind of ran dry. After I got into fire, I burnt to death. Because after recovering my stuff, I entered a bastion, getting those were the days, and war pigs after opening a chest, which had obsidian in it, getting ice bucket challenge, and some ancient debris. I tried to keep all the nether advancements together, so there's a balloon, hot tourist destination covering all 5 biomes in the nether, and Yeah, this weird ghast. I then got Oh Shiny, Distracting Piglin, and not quite 9 lives. I then rode a Strider. There we go. This boat has legs.
Feels Like Home requires you to bring a Strider to the overworld and ride it on a lava pool for 50 meters. While this wasn't difficult, I would have to bring over 100 of buckets of lava to place in the overworld.
Then after a quick 50 block journey, I got Feels Like Home, and then proceeded to craft a compass to use on my lodestone. I then lost most of the footage getting to the end. I must have ran out of blocks and used some ender pearls creatively to get rid of the tower, but then I took no more time to get rid of the dragon and get out to an end city where I could gather a couple more advancements, and then finally put my book on my elytra like I talked about. I failed an MLG.
Great view from up here was one of the most fun advancements. Not too hard, not too easy. The game requires you to float up 50 meters from a single continuous levitation effect. Or you could throw an ender pearl to the ground once you got the effect, but they either patched that in the newest version or I was just doing it wrong. I got one shulker to produce many levitation bullets and dodge them, gathering them up on the ground before I flew up and spaced out when the next dart hit me.
I then got to the top and realized I didn't get it, but just before my pearl landed on the ground, I got it in the nick of time, getting a great view from up here. I then breeded some sea turtles for the parrots and the bats, but most importantly, 2x2 later on in the video. Getting hired help, and then bucketing some salmon for tactical fishing, which I then killed a bunch more to tame some cats. I need to tame 20 cats for the complete catalog, but I just got best friends here. I saw like Feinberger somebody do this, and I thought it was cool. I then found myself at world limit jumping off 384 blocks for caves and cliffs, and this took a total of 7 seconds, which is way too long. But then I gathered a villager up there and traded for a star trader before shooting this target block a whole bunch for the bullseye advancement. Shot the wrong pig, but I shot a pig, got to take aim, and then I proceeded with the rest of the bow advancements, and then followed it by killing a bunch of drowns to gather a trident.
Minecraft is interesting when it comes to naming the advancements. While the 2 birds and 1 arrow advancement is appropriately named, some can be jokes, and Arbalistic is no joke. You need to kill 5 animals with 1 shot, and how are you going to do that? With this one rare enchantment, Piercing, you can cause a crossbow to go through multiple mobs and even shields, and this enchantment stacks, going through 1, 2, 3, 4, and even max 5 mobs with a single arrow. However, it's one of the most rare enchantments in the game.
I then got Who's the Pillager Now by killing a pillager with a crossbow, and got Old Betsy just by shooting the crossbow. I then proceeded with a raid, getting a Totem of Undying, and getting Hero of the Village after winning the raid. I then played Sound of Music in a jukebox in Meadows, Whatever Floats Your Goat shortly following, and then hopped on some powdered snow with leather boots for light as a rabbit. And then I found the strangest igloo ever. It had a trap door, but the ladder must have been cut off by a cave, but that's not to worry because I found an igloo with a villager in it, and then following by Subspace Bubble, traveling 7,000 blocks, and then going netherite mining for Cover Me and Debris and Serious Dedication. After crafting all my netherites, I then proceeded to get the Serious Dedication advancement and the Cover Me in Debris, which are 2 of the most satisfying advancements in the game.
Uneasy Alliance is obtained by killing a ghast in the overworld, but for me it turned out to be one of the most tedious and painful advancements ever. You could cheese the advancement by killing a ghast remotely while in the overworld with TNT, but I chose to do it with Valor. First, you need a big enough portal because ghasts have one of the biggest hitboxes in the game besides the Ender Dragon. Next, you need to get a ghast to spawn in. I thought the Soul Sand Valley would carry this part and make it a breeze. But then I found myself taking most time waiting for a ghast to spawn. Then you would have to fight the ghast without hurting it and persuade the ghast through a nether portal using finishing rods or just hoping for luck. Then finally, it would die on the other side before you could get to the overworld, and you wouldn't even get the advancement. You had to do the whole thing.
This advancement seriously took it out of me. I mean, this was tireless hours of work with no return. The amount of frustrations I handled while throwing gas through portals in fishing rods. Every time I went through a new fishing rod, it felt like a dead end. I mean, just seeing a ghast go through a portal and it doesn't work, it's just demoralizing. Every single fireball felt like a stab in the back, but then tragically I almost died here and I got saved with my totem, getting post-mortal. I was still fighting tirelessly with gas to get them through, and finally, I got one. But then as soon as I came through the portal, I realized the gunpowder in my inventory. I decided just to craft 3 fishing rods, and I got through a good majority of them before I got this last ghast into the portal, and finally got the chance to take out all my revenge on this one single ghast, getting Uneasy Alliance, the most difficult advancement.
During a short break, I decided to go back to see my previous world in 1.8.9 Minecraft. However, when I loaded Minecraft, this happened. Oh my, what is this? I've never, what? I don't even like, what is this? I've never seen anything like this. I haven't changed anything since playing this last. If I load a world, will the textures be fine? I don't know. At this point, you're probably thinking no harm, no foul. And that's what I was thinking. You see, normally 1.8.9 has its own world save file, so you can't even play any worlds that weren't loaded in 1.8.9 previously. However, something was clearly wrong with my Minecraft. In the last world I had played, the one I tried to test my textures was the 1.19 world. So, in simple terms, I loaded my 1.19 world in 1.8.9. Oh no. I think I just bricked my world. The next day, I realized I had previously backed up my world before doing the Uneasy Alliance advancement. Now, I guess I had to redo a couple of advancements.
So then after regaining the advancements I had just lost, I proceeded to continue as normal. I went to the Nether and killed wither skeletons, getting spooky scary skeleton after dropping a head, and my overall goal here was to fight the wither. The wither skeletons are brutal, and spending over an hour just killing wither skeletons, it felt like it took them 10 minutes just to spawn in. But then I completed all 3 wither skeleton skulls with just 74 wither skeleton kills. I then summoned the wither and proceeded to kill it in a tunnel, but then I realized I needed a wither rose for the final advancements, and decided to sack myself as a human sacrifice to get a wither rose. After killing the wither, I had no delay crafting a beacon and using every single last block I owned to get the Beaconator advancement. I then collected a couple small advancements, Hughes Predator, Total B Location, and You've Got a Friend in Me with an LA. However, I forgot and had to backtrack to get Birthday Song with the LA and some cake. I then simply got Wax On and Wax Off, and Sticky Situation, quickly followed by taming a few more cat varieties.
One of the advancements is Complete Catalog, which requires the player to tame all variety of cats, to which there are 12, and one of them can only be found in a witch hut. Why Mojang made this? I don't know, man.
After taming this cat, I moved on to a jungle to get Is It a Bird, looking at a parrot through a spyglass.
With our powers combined seems simple in theory until you set out to do it. The advancement requires you to carry all 3 types of frog lights in your inventory at one time. While a late game player, this wasn't difficult, but I was still under 100 days in my Minecraft world. To get the frog light, you need a frog to eat a magma cube, which requires you to take either the frog or the magma cube to another dimension. However, this meant I would have to find a basalt delta biome in the Nether, because along with the fortress, that is the only place magma cubes can spawn. Continuing on our journey, there are 3 different types of frogs, the light tan one, orange one, and the dark green frog, and each corresponds to the warmth of a biome it grew up in. So first, I need to capture the frogs, grow one in a cold biome, one in a warm biome, one in a neutral biome. And then I can take them separately to the Nether and get them to eat some snacks.
If you've ever dealt with frogs before, you can't actually pick up the frog spawn block. I tried to pick it up with the water bucket and destroyed it, and then got the bucket advancement after they hatched. I then proceeded to place one in the cold biome and the warm biome, and brought them both to the Nether at the same time, getting both frog lights simultaneously. I then only needed the warm biome frog to get the pearlescent frog light, giving me, with our powers combined, fairly simply. Similarly to 1.8.9, the adventuring time advancement was one of the last, and the last biome I actually needed was the Dripstone Cave.
Monsters Hunted is an advancement that happens over time and requires you to kill every hostile mob in the game. However, some of them don't naturally occur. You have to go on a journey to spawn them in and then kill them. One of the mobs that is going to be hardest to get is the Zoglin. And to spawn one in, I need to take a hoglin through to the overworld. Yeah, remember Uneasy Alliance? Along with some other rare mobs you may have forgot about, like endermites or vex, it shouldn't be that bad.
Getting a hoglin through another portal wasn't too bad, and then killing it in the overworld was just as easy as killing a regular hoglin in the nether.
Now, there's only one mob left to kill. Nah, I'm just messing with you. It's a cave spider.
So after locating a mine shaft, I quickly killed the cave spider, granting me the monsters hunted advancement. I then traveled to the end to complete the end advancements I had previously forgot, and the end again is at a plane and you need a
How
mint.
did we get here is the pinnacle of Minecraft advancements. You need every effect in the survival game. You also need effects from a shulker, the warden, which requires you to get these mobs in one place. You must transport the shulker into the overworld, and a warden from the deep dark underground to the surface. You must complete a raid, have haste 2, only obtainable from a beacon, and conduit power, which you need 8 nautilus shells, which have a 3% chance of spawning in the hand of a drowned. With all this careful and precision timing, it makes How Did We Get Here easily one of the most notorious advancements in Minecraft.
After brewing every potion, I began preparing for the How Did We Get Here advancement, getting every single survival effect in the game. To which I traveled to the end, gathering a shulker, one of the effects you need. Shulker I then boated down from a high place, used fishing rods and minecarts to maneuver him into the overworld. But when I got him to the portal, I was stuck. You see, I couldn't hit the boat because its hitbox was inside the portal, and so then I decided to kill the shulker and restart. I then realized this was unnecessary, but sooner or later I got the shulker into the overworld and boated him to a nearby island. And with some insane ancient city luck, I got 2 notch apples in the same chest, which I would be going back to and getting more notch apples, and also collecting a warden, which I need for darkness effect. Name tagging the warden took a little more than I thought, because the hitbox didn't appear until later than I thought, but luring the warden is easier than luring any other mob, because it's so angry. After getting it through the portal, I then proceeded in a Looney Tunes style chase across the nether roof in a comedical way because I was probably screaming the entire time, considering I didn't carry a totem at all. But then when I got back to the portal I needed to take him, he supersonic blasted me and I got him through fairly easily. But on the other side, it wasn't that easy. It took me a couple tries to get him in his cage, but I believe the piston above his head would keep him occupied. After getting Hero of the Village and then Bad Omen again, I flew over to an ocean monument where I got mining's fatigue, and then proceeded to practice this advancement many times on a survival world before doing it in the real world. I started by splashing every single potion onto myself and doing my training as I'd previously done in the creative world. After I got a Furious Cocktail, things weren't going so smooth though. The first time I tried this, it didn't work out. The cause, I believe, is because I didn't get Dolphin's Grace, but I got a balanced diet before. Immediately pausing the game, realizing I didn't get How Did We Get Here. So I resupplied myself for run 2 and made sure the dolphin was in place this time. I then ran through the same procedure and got How Did We Get Here.
Alright, Bedrock Edition. This is very different version. This is because Bedrock Edition advancements are like most other games, where the advancements are for one game instead of individual world, and they're displayed in the screen. But when you get an advancement, it doesn't show up in game. Yeah.
I found myself in this tricky situation, but don't worry, I didn't die. But then Bedrock Edition culture shocked me when I realized you need a shovel to craft a boat, but it worked out in the end because it got me the more tools advancement.
That's so late. I got that like a minute ago. Not only were the advancements displayed late, they were through Xbox Game Bar.
I then proceeded in the ocean, getting echolocation. I then proceeded with the Minecrafty stuff, but getting disenchanted after using a grindstone. Bro, how does Stream do this? As it turns out, boat clutching doesn't work in Bedrock Edition.
This is what I have to go through to show you the advancements when they come up. Yeah, this horrible yellow outline on the screen. Thanks, Microsoft. This was so I could record the overlay of Minecraft advancement when it came through.
Why is Bedrock Edition so bad? Like, the rain is just too loud. But anyway, I got ahoy after finding a buried treasure in my heart of the sea for a future advancement. Shortly following, I got dispensed with this just by crafting a dispenser, and then checked up on my progress. 29%, 35 out of 122 completed, while getting the free diver advancement for spending 2 minutes underwater. And during this time, I took advantage of crafting a sign and placing it down for "It's a sign." And then dried myself out in the jungle getting Lion Hunter, and then also renaming a shulker box for Organizational Wizard.
In Java Edition, flying through a 1x1 hole is rough. Okay, never mind. But I promise, it's hard. I'm just really good at the game. You have to fly through a 1x1 hole at 40 meters per second for the supersonic advancement. At first, I was trying to fly through a vertical hole, but if you want to get through the hole, you have to think smarter than it. What was I thinking when I wrote this script? So I came up with a genius idea to fly top down, and I got it with certain death. But after a few tries, I'll never have to do that again.
Dude, I'm gonna be here forever. Oh my gosh, that took me all night.
A little rare fact about Minecraft you may not know is that cats can give you a gift when you wake up. Only it has a very rare chance of happening. This gift can be anything from string to phantom membranes, but as you guessed it, in Bedrock Edition, this is an advancement. Where have you been requiring the player to receive a gift from a cat in the morning, an advancement completely relying on chance, which we haven't seen too much of? After buying a structure map from a cartographer villager, if you then enter the structure on the map, you are awarded the Treasure Hunter advancement.
I quickly dove down to break the top before getting mining fatigue and getting deep end by killing an Elder Guardian. And this has got to be the weirdest advancement in the game. You get an inception by pulling a piston by a piston you previously pushed. And then continuing on the weird streak, you get to jump off a slime block and bounce 30 blocks for trampoline.
After collecting all 16 colors of wool, the player is awarded with Rainbow Collection.
But I hope you're not afraid of heights, because next requires you to place scaffolding the world height limit for the top of the world. And then a very Minecraft advancement, Archer killing a creeper with a bow, and staying frosty just requires fire resistance bush. After leaving the nether with 3 wither skeleton skulls, I killed the wither using the blocks it carved out for the chest full of cobblestone advancement. I then proceeded with all the furnace advancements, including super fuel, smelt everything, and freight station. All 3 very different advancements, with freight station requiring a minecart chest. But then I headed back into the nether to kill some wither skeletons, and got camouflage.
Now that didn't look too interesting. I just killed some wither skeletons, but I had a wither skeleton skull on, when I did it therefore guaranteeing me the camouflage advancement, requiring you to kill a mob with its head on. This advancement is normally done by collecting a mob head from exploding mob by a charged creeper. However, you could just do it with a wither skeleton and its natural head drop chance.
After getting voluntary exile, just like you do in Java Edition, I proceeded to start a raid and use poison on witches for tasting your own medicine, then rung the bell in the village for sound the alarm, and killed evokers for feeling ill. Continuing the raid advancements, I killed a Ravager for Slay the Beast, and then moved on to the ocean advancements for
Mosque Strawman,
and then smelting out a sponge for Dry Spell. I then ran over the ocean with Frostwalker boots for Let It Go.
Map Room requires you to place 9 fully explored maps into a 3x3 area. And did I mention they all have to be adjacent? I have to explore 147,456 blocks, all next to each other.
After running all day for this advancement, it was underwhelming when I placed down the final 9 maps for Map Room. I then cooked and ate a rabbit, and dyed my armor using a cauldron, something they should add to Java Edition. I then pulled out my inner 6-year-old and befriended 5 wolves, and then after a long tedious day of running, I ate rotten flesh to cure myself of hunger, getting the Iron Belly advancement. And then after spending a notch apple, I got food on the loom. And then indulged in the nature, leading 5 llamas on a lead, so I got that going for me.
Sail the 7 Seas is aptly named and just requires the player to discover 7 specific ocean biomes.
I then forced my brother to hop on so I could get diamonds to you in time for stew.
In Java Edition, wax on, wax off happens when you right-click a honeycomb on a copper block, and then a separate advancement comes when you right-click the same honey block with an axe to get wax off. But in Bedrock Edition, you have to do this to every single copper block and every single copper block state to get 1 advancement. Just why?
After AFKing for 2 days straight, I finally could get wax on and wax off after shorting myself in honey.
Now, for some reason, the people who created this game wanted the player to suffer. Castaway is an advancement that makes you eat dried kelp for 3 days straight. Now, if you're unfamiliar with dried kelp, it is the worst food in the game. I mean, you can use it to smelt stuff. It offers practically no saturation on top of Bedrock Edition's scuffed saturation system. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pretty mad with Bedrock Edition. Who plays this game?
The final advancement I needed was Master Trader, which I'd gotten most of previously, but after a couple of Fletchers and strict trades, I was strictly done getting 100% completion.
Honestly, this has been the most fun I've had playing Minecraft in a while. Just taking the game at your own pace, not overwhelming yourself with insanely large goals, worrying about being perfect, and just taking the game piece by piece. I seriously encourage you to try playing nostalgic Minecraft at a slow pace. You'll be surprised by how much more fun and enjoyment you can get out of Minecraft.